Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today I brought with me a special guest, and his name is Therapy Bear. We'll call him TB, that's fine, and I brought with him because I feel like some of you may need to look at this happy-go-lucky face, because I feel like there's definitely some stress in the community, and I wanted to show up and kind of show my support for you guys, and talk about what's been going on. Now, I didn't plan to make this video today. I was actually working on a video about how the new droids and droid team can take on the Sith triumvirate with a few exceptions. It's been a lot of fun. I actually spent about 4 hours today working on something totally different. And I went out to a movie, came back, and my Discord had blown up, and the forums, my YouTube channel, just like all of this information had happened. I'm like, what's going on? And I go to the forum, and there has been another, I don't want to say Nerf controversy, but there's definitely some controversy with a new character, with a character specifically, or a team specifically for the Sith Raid. And that team is called the Critolyte mix. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this team, that's probably, there's a good reason for it, and it's most likely because you don't have a 7-star Traya. You might also not have a Hermit Yoda at your, available to you. But what this team is, it's a Asajj Ventress lead, Hermit Yoda, R2-D2, Nightsister, Acolyte, and Darth Traya. And this team can solo phases 3 and 4, I think parts of phase 3 all the way through phase 3 and 4, ultimately doing 48 million in damage. And if you want to see this team in action, Skullatrix has a video that shows you how it works and walks you through it. And it's really a fascinating team. But what's interesting, again, like I said, this team is not just something that can damage, can do serious amounts of damage, and you have to pay attention, and you got to be in the moment and really defeat the Sith Raid. No, you put this team in, you hit auto, and boom, 48 million, and that is redonkulous. But again, you do need a Darth Traya character. You do need her 7-star. You do need her completely geared out, completely maxed out, and mods and all that other jazz. You also need Hermit Yoda, R2-D2. Like I said, you need a solid list of characters. But really, Asajj Ventress is easy to farm. Nightsister, Acolyte is super easy to farm. And if you've been in this game for a while, you probably already have R2-D2. If you've been farming effectively, you probably have or could potentially have Hermit Yoda. It's just that Darth Traya character who makes this team so effective. Now, this is the third time, or the third time that I can recall, a team specifically being nerfed. Now, when the Sith Raid came out, we had a similar team that created a loop that allowed you to do tons of damage. It was the Stormtrooper Han team, and it was effective. It was super effective. And they said, hey, our goal is not to create something that is just so easily dominated, because the idea is it takes some of the fun out of it. It also takes a lot of the challenge out of it if you can just hit auto and the AI does its work itself. That is challenging. That is ultimately what they want to avoid. The idea here is they want to stop those infinite loops that, take strategy out of the game. The reason they're doing this now is because it's starting to get a lot more knowledge. People are starting to find out about it. People are starting to use it and invest time and money into it. And what they want to do is stop that before it becomes widespread. They don't want people to invest money into a character or in a team that ultimately is going to get nerfed, that ultimately is going to get kind of retooled or reworked. That is obviously a frustrating thing to a lot of players. A lot of people are upset, especially in-game players who spent time and money, and not just in-game money, like legitimate dollars or rupees or whatever, yen, whatever it is that you spend. People spend money on this game, and they've spent a lot of money on this game, and they've invested in a Nightsister team, a Nightsister crew, And now 2 of those people are sort of getting a nerf. Now, what they're actually doing is they haven't said that they're going to touch it, either the Acolyte or Asajj Ventress. However, those and because of that, those 2 characters are still valuable in other areas of the game. But a lot of people have been farming those 2 characters for this specific mode, for this specific area, and to them, it's been a waste. And I completely understand. It's frustrating when this type of thing happens. I get it, and I even think they get it. I really do. You know, if you're frustrated, then you're like, no, Thaddeus, you're an idiot. They don't understand us. I do think that they do, but they do want to stop the infinite loop, right? They do still want to make this game challenging. Now, and this is just me speaking, right? Part of the challenge here is not just to create the most powerful team, and specifically not just to buy the most powerful team. And I know that's not a popular thought for those people who are whales who are watching this, just to the point where you can set it and forget it, right? The idea is to create the most effective team, you know, to get essentially the most bang for your buck, to get, if you're a whale, to spend the least amount of money in order to get the most amount of damage, right? That's what they want you to do, if they want you spending money at all. If you don't spend money, they want you to use the tools at your disposal to do the same thing. And I'm not speaking for them, I'm just speaking from what I see of this game. And the idea is, when you have a team like this who creates this infinite loop, it does become problematic, at least in the game developer eyes. And, you know, if you're someone who's been affected by this, you are absolutely pissed. And I get it. I understand. I can only empathize. I can't even sympathize here, because I haven't spent the time. I haven't spent the money. And there are people out there who have, and that is frustrating. I get it. I absolutely do. What bothers me is that this video or this post on the website also talks about what they call the paper zombie. Now, that sounds less harmless than it is, but the paper zombie is essentially Nightsister zombie left at a lower gear level. You know, maybe 7-starred if you have her, but left at a lower gear level, left with mods off, and essentially what it does is it creates a zombie who is easy to kill on a team with Asajj Ventress. Now, the more people that die in the presence of Asajj, either allies or Empire or whoever, right, enemies or allies, she starts gaining buffs. She starts gaining more power. And the more that Nightsister zombie dies, the more powerful Asajj becomes. Now, I love that. I think it's cool. I think it's in keeping with canon. I think that it's in keeping with the spirit of the character. But for them, it's not in keeping with the game. And I can kind of understand that, because what they want to do is they want to create characters that you want to get to Gear 12, that you want to put the best Zetas on, you want to put the best mods on. What I don't understand is they created a character who is the antithesis of that. They created a character who doesn't do that. Now, what's frustrating is, we're not frustrating. I'm even curious. How are they gonna rework Nightsister Zombie so that they want players to get her to G12? Is she gonna be just this uber tank now that dies, then comes back, but then comes back with full protection? Or when she dies, she comes back with whatever, right? She gains taunt for 1 turn or maybe 3 turns, and she has full health and 200% defense. I have no idea, like none at all. But I think they're going to have to create or rework this character in a way that's really going to appease a number of people. And that's, if you think about this long term, they created a raid that's meant to last a year and a half until something else comes along. You know what? Again, I don't have these characters, not on my personal team, and so I don't know what a lot of these people are going through. But if you do, if this change is affecting you, I really am curious as to know how. What are your thoughts on it? If you're a person who's invested time and money, real or in-game, for these characters, what are your feelings on this? Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you think, and I'll do my best to respond. Like As always, like, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what your thoughts are. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.